बाजत पैंजनिया ठुमकी चलत रामचंद्र। चलत ठुमकी चलत चलत ठुमकी चलत रामचंद्र। बाजत पैंजनिया ठुमकी चलत रामचंद्र। ठुमकी चलत रामचंद्र ठुमकी चलत रामचंद्र। ठुमकी चलत रामचंद्र ठुमकी चलत रामचंद्र। बाजत पैंजनिया बाजत पैंजनिया रे बाजत पैंजनिया रे बाजत पैंजनिया रे बाजत पैंजनिया रे बाजत पैंजनिया ठुमकी चलत रामचंद्र। ठुमकी चलत रामचंद्र। बाजत पैंजनिया ठुमकी चलत रामचंद्र। ठुमकी चलत रामचंद्र। बाजत पैंजनिया ठुमकी चलत राम राम राम। ऊधो बेगी ब्रिज जाहु। ऊधो बेगी ब्रिज जाहु। ऊधो बेगी ब्रिज जाहु। सुरति संदेश सुनाए मेटो। सुरति संदेश सुनाए मेटो। बल्लभिन को दाहु। ऊधो बेगी ब्रिज जाहु। ऊधो बेगी ब्रिज जाहु। काम पावक तूल मैं तन। काम पावक तूल मैं तन। बिरह श्वास समी। बिरह श्वास समी। भस्म नाहिन होत पाव। भस्म नाहिन होत पावत लोचनन के नीर ऊधो लोचनन के नीर ऊधो बेगी ब्रिज जाऊ ऊधो बेगी ब्रिज जाऊ समाधाने क्यों धरे तिय धीर इते पर बिन साधु परवीन सखा साधु परवीन ऊधो बेगी ब्रिज जाऊ ऊधो बेगी ब्रिज जाऊ कहो कहा बनाए तुम सो सखा साधु परवीन कहो कहाँ बनाए तुम सो सखा साधु परवीन सूर सुमति विचारिए क्यों सूर सुमति विचारिए क्यों जिए जल बिन मीन सूर सुमति विचारिए सूर सुमति विचारिए क्यों जिए जल बिन मीन क्यों जिए जल बिन मीन बेगी ब्रिज जाऊ ऊधो बेगी ब्रिज जाऊ सुरति संदेश सुनाए मेटो सुरति संदेश सुनाए मेटो बल्लभिन को दाऊ ऊधो बल्लभिन को दाऊ ऊधो बेगी ब्रिज जाऊ बेगी ब्रिज जाहू धो, बेगी ब्रिज जाहू धो, बेगी ब्रिज जाहू धो, बेगी ब्रिज जाहू धो, बेगी ब्रिज जाहू। सूर सुमति विचारिए क्यों जिए जल बिन मीन, क्यों जिए जल बिन मीन कूदो बेगी ब्रिज जाहू कूदो बेगी ब्रिज, बेगी ब्रिज, बेगी ब्रिज जाहू। श्री राम, श्री राम, श्री राम। पटपीत मानहु तड़ित रुचि शनिकन्दनं भजु दीनबन्धु दिनेश दानव दैत्यवंशनिकन्दनं रघुनन्द आनन्द कन्द कौशल चन्द दशरथ नन्दनं रघुनन्द आनन्द कन्द कौशल चन्द दशरथ नन्दनं
श्रीरामचन्द्र कृपालु भज मन हरण भव भय दारुणम्
शिरमुकुट कुण्डल तिलक चारु उदार अङ्गविभूषणं शिरमुकुट कुण्डल तिलक चारु उदार अङ्गविभूषणम् आजानुभुज शर चापधर सङ्ग्राम चित्खर दूषणम् आजानुभुज शर चापधर सङ्ग्राम चित्खर दूषणम्
श्रीरामचन्द्र कृपालु भज मन हरण भव भय दारुणम्
इति वदति तुलसीदास शङ्कर शेष मुनिमनरञ्जनम् इति वदति तुलसीदास शङ्कर शेष मुनिमनरञ्जनम् मम हृदय कञ्ज निवास कुरु कामादि खलदल गञ्जनम् मम हृदय कञ्ज निवास कुरु कामादि खलदल गञ्जनम्
श्रीरामचन्द्र कृपालु भज मन हरण भव भय दारुणम्
श्रीरामचन्द्र कृपालु भज मन हरण भव भय दारुणम्
श्रीरामचन्द्र कृपालु भज मन हरण भव भय दारुणम्
नव कंज लोचन कंज मुख कर कंज पद कंजारुणम्
नव कंज लोचन कंज मुख कर कंज पद कंजारुणम्
नव कंज लोचन कंज मुख कर कंज पद कंजारुणम्
नव कंज लोचन कंज मुख कर कंज पद कंजारुणम्
श्रीरामचन्द्र कृपालु भज मन हरण भव भय दारुणम्
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 प्रभु के ये वाक्य सुनकर उद्धव जी ब्रिज में गए और उद्धव जी ने गोपियों से कहा,
सुन गोपी हरि को संदेश सुन गोपी हरि को संदेश। सुन गोपी हरि को संदेश, सुन गोपी हरि को संदेश। करी समाधि अंतर्गति चितवो, करी समाधि अंतर्गति चितवो, प्रभु को यह उपदेश, प्रभु को यह उपदेश, हरि को संदेश। सुन गोपी हरि को संदेश। वे अविगत अविनाशी पूरन, वे अविगत अविनाशी पूरन, घट घट रहे समाय, घट घट रहे समाय। तिहि निश्चय के ध्यावहु ऐसे, तिहि निश्चय के ध्यावहु ऐसे, सुचित कमल मन लाय, सुचित कमल मन लाय, हरि को संदेश। सुन गोपी हरि को संदेश। तिहि निश्चय के ध्यावहु ऐसे, सुचित कमल मन लाय, हरि को संदेश। सुन गोपी हरि को संदेश। यह उपाय करि विरहत जोगी, विरहत जोगी, हाँ यह उपाय करि विरहत जोगी, मिले ब्रह्म तब आए, मिले ब्रह्म तब आए। तत्व ज्ञान बिन मुक्ति न होई, तत्व ज्ञान बिन मुक्ति न होई। निगम सुनावत गाय, निगम सुनावत गाय, हरि को संदेश। सुन गोपी हरि को संदेश। सुनत संदेश दुसह माधव के, सुनत संदेश दुसह माधव के, गोपी जन बिल खानी, गोपी जन बिल खानी। सूर बिरह की कौन चलावे, सूर बिरह की कौन चलावे। नैन ढरत अति पानी, नैन ढरत अति पानी, हरि को संदेश। सुन गोपी हरि को संदेश। गम पद पम गम गप मप मध पम गम गरे सा। हरि को संदेश सुन गोपी, हरि को संदेश। हरि को संदेश सुन गोपी, करी समाधि अंतर्गत चितवा। करी समाधि अंतर्गत चितवा, प्रभु को यह उपदेश, प्रभु को यह उपदेश। हरि को संदेश सुन गोपी, हरि को संदेश सुन गोपी। करी समाधि 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 करी समाधि अंतर्गत चितवा। करी समाधि अंतर्गत चितवा, प्रभु को यह उपदेश, प्रभु को यह उपदेश। हरि को संदेश सुन गोपी, हरि को संदेश सुन गोपी, हरि को हरि को हरि को संदेश। हम सो कहत कौन की बातें, हम सो कहत कौन की बातें। कहत कौन की बातें, हम सो कहत कौन की बातें। सुनी उधो हम समझत नाही, सुनी उधो हम समझत नाही। फिर पूछती हैं ताते, फिर पूछती हैं ताते। हम सो कहत कौन की बातें, हम सो कहत कौन की बातें। कोरिप भयो कंस किन मार्यो, कोरिप भयो कोरिप भयो कंस किन मार्यो। वसुदेव सुत आई, वसुदेव सुत आई।
यहाँ हमारे परम मनोहर, यहाँ हमारे परम मनोहर जीजत है मुख चाही, जीजत है मुख चाही। कहत कौन की बातें हम सो, कहत कौन की बातें। सुनियो धो हम समझत नाही, सुनियो धो हम समझत नाही, सुनियो धो हम समझत नाही, सुनियो धो हम समझत नाही। फिर पूछती हैं ताते, हाँ फिर पूछती हैं ताते, हम सो कहत कौन की बातें, हम सो कहत कौन की बातें। दिन प्रति जात सहज गोचारन, दिन प्रति जात सहज गोचारन। गोप सखालय संग, गोप सखालय संग। बासरगत रजनी मुख आवत, बासरगत रजनी मुख आवत। करत नैन गति पंग, करत नैन गति पंग। कहत कौन की बातें हम सो, कहत कौन की बातें हम सो, कहत कौन की बातें। कहत कौन की बातें हम सो, कहत कौन की बातें। ओ व्यापक पूरन अविनाशी, ओ व्यापक पूरन अविनाशी, अविनाशी। अविनाशी को व्यापक पूरन अविनाशी, को व्यापक पूरन अविनाशी। को विधि वेद अपार, को विधि वेद अपार। सूर वृथा बकवाद करत हो, सूर वृथा बकवाद करत हो। या ब्रिज नंद कुमार, या ब्रिज नंद कुमार। कहत कौन की बातें हम सो, कहत कौन की बातें। कहत कौन की बातें, कहत कौन की बातें। कहत कौन की बातें हम सो, कहत कौन की बातें हम सो, कहत कौन की बातें। सुनियो धो हम समझत नाही, सुनियो धो हम समझत नाही। सुनियो धो सुनियो धो हम, सुनियो धो हम। समझत नाही, सुनी उधो हम 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 समझत नाही। फिर पूछती है ताते, फिर पूछती है ताते, हाँ फिर पूछती है ताते, हम सो कहत कौन की बातें, हम सो कहत कौन की बातें, हम सो कहत कौन की, कहत कौन की, कहत कौन की बातें।
ॐ सहना भवतु सहनौ भुनक्तु सह वीर्यं करवावहै तेजस्विनावधीतमस्तु मा विद्विषावहै। ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः। हरिः ॐ। My respectful namaskar to revered Swamijis who are present in the hall, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen. It is our honor and privilege to host Professor K. Ramasubramanian, who is amongst us today for 2 days, today Saturday and Sunday, to find and give us an opportunity for devotees of Ramakrishna Math Mumbai to hear him and deliver 2 talks on Vedanta. I, on behalf of Ramakrishna Math Mumbai and on behalf of all of you devotees, I would like to extend our heartiest welcome to Professor Ramasubramanian. I will try to give a brief introduction of his. He is Institute Chair Professor at Cell for Indian Science and Technology in Sanskrit, Department of Humanities and Social Sciences, Indian Institute of Technology, Bombay. A world-class Indic scholar of great repute, a historian of Indian sciences in mathematics and astronomy, Sanskrit guru, Vedic teacher, and Indian philosopher. His immensely broad erudition, his insights, and his popular teachings have been inspiring a new generation of thousands of students, other scholars, and teachers to learn and undertake research on the riches of India's scientific heritage and enabling its preservation. His creative and exciting teachings at IIT Bombay and his unique, unparalleled, multidisciplinary scholarship continues to make an impact with a powerful combination of science, Sanskrit, and spirituality. His life's mission has been to inspire society to undertake research and give India a rightful place in the world of history of science and ignite interest in Sanskrit as a language of science. To his credit, there are more than a dozen awards, out of which I will mention a few. In 2008, he was awarded by President of India Maharshi Badarayana Vyas Samman for his contributions towards synergy between tradition and modernity. In 2014, he was awarded Bhaskaracharya Award by Bharatiya Vidvat Parishad Varanasi for his outstanding research in Indian astronomy. In 2017, he was awarded Madhava Ganita Puraskar by Madhava Ganit Kendram. for bringing to fore the contributions of Kerala astronomers. In 2019, he was awarded Satish Bhatnagar Award by Indian Math Society for his best paper on the history of mathematics. He has also co-authored 3 books, namely Ganita Yukti Bhasha, Rationals in Mathematical Astronomy, another book, the Tantra Sangraha, and the third book, Karana Paddhati. He has many research papers to his credit in theoretical physics, Indian astronomy, mathematics, philosophy, logic, etc. I once again very heartily welcome Professor Ramasubramanian, and we feel that we devotees, we are privileged to hear you, sir, to deliver 2 talks on this Vedanta. Thank you once again.
Shall we start? योऽन्तः प्रविश्य मम वाचमिमां प्रसुप्तां सञ्जीवयत्यखिलशक्तिधरस्वधाम्ना अन्यांश्च हस्तचरणश्रवणत्वगादीन् प्राणान् नमो भगवते पुरुषाय तुभ्यम् यं गुरुं हि स्वयं सत्यः प्रज्ञाभक्तिविनीतयः दीप्तिश्चापि वृता नित्यं तं गुरुं प्रणमाम्यहम् सदाशिवसमारम्भां शङ्कराचार्यमध्यमाम् अस्मदाचार्यपर्यन्तां वन्दे गुरुपरम्पराम्. I offer my reverences to the Swamijis present here and the devotees, and I would like to thank the organizers for giving me this opportunity to share some of my thoughts here. This term insomnia is found in Mahabharata by the term Prajagara. So Prajagara has clearly a prefix pra, and then Jagara refers to the awakening state. So this Prajagara is being expressed explicitly by Yudhishthira in some context, and then it is described greatly by Dhritarashtra to Vidura. So when does this Prajagara happen? It's nicely described in a particular verse. So that's what gave me an idea to talk on this, and this appears right at the beginning of an interesting chapter of Mahabharata which is called Vidura Niti. And then he goes on, Vidura, he is considered to be the most wise person. So let me move on. How do I organize my talk here? Okay. See, we will just go through a few things which are generally known to us just to recall. And then I found a very interesting quote of Swami Vivekananda which many of you may be knowing. So I will go through that also. Then the origin of Vidura Niti. Then the reasons spelt out by Vidura as the causes for insomnia. and then we will see how Vedantic approach can help us get rid of it. This is a serious problem which I have been hearing from various people for various reasons. So let us see how this term is to be derived. This pra is used in various contexts. We say pravaha, we say pradosha, right? So sometimes this pra is to be understood as something which speaks of excellence in particular area, and sometimes it is to be understood as something which is negative of that also. For instance, even this term pradosha, if you just take, so it does not refer to a particular period where there is too much of dosha, right? So this dosha, whenever it can be eliminated, is also called as that. And we also use this term pradakshina, right? So there also it has this other connotation. So when you enter this temple, you take the left and then you move on. You don't take the right. So pradakshina. So there also you have this. Anyway, here it should be understood as prakarashena. Prakarashena jagaranam is prajagaranam. So this is the term that has been employed in the Mahabharata. Normally what happens is something which is beautifully described in our Upanishads. So the human undergoes 3 stages, which is well known: Jagrat, Swapna and Sushupti. Mandukya talks of Turiya. Now we have this interesting analogy which is presented in the Chandogya Upanishad. What happens? Sayatha Shakunihi Sutrena Prabadhaha Disham Disham Patitva Anyatra Ayatanam Alabdhva Bandhanameva Upashrayate Evameva Khalu Somya Tan Manaha Disham Disham Patitva Anyatra Ayatanam Alabdhva Pranameva Upashrayate Pranabandhanam Hi Somya Manaha. Where is this from? This is from Sadvidya in Chandogya. The 6th chapter is called Sadvidya. There, this is the 8th section. So, Shakunihi in Sanskrit means bird, pakshi. So, the analogy here is Yatha Shakunihi Sutrena Prabadhaha. So, once the bird can fly freely, of course, there is nothing which can contain. It can move on to any direction. But if the hunter decides to just tie it through a sutra, like we tie it a kite, okay? So if you pull, it has to anyway come. So if you have just tied it, it can fly only to a certain distance. So that is the analogy here. Yatha Shakunihi Sutrena Prabadhaha Disham Disham Patitva. So it tries this direction, it tries that direction, it tries all directions, but then it can go only to a certain extent, but then it has to return back. Right? Anyatra Ayatanam Alabdhva. Unable to find a locus where it can seat comfortably. Bandhanameva Upashrayate. It comes back to where it has been tied. Similarly, he says, Yevam Khalu Somya Tanmanaha Disham Disham Patitva. So during the other 2 avasthas, whether it is Jagrat avastha or Swapna avastha, Disham Disham Patitva moves to different directions. Anyatra Ayatanam Alabdhva Pranameva Upashrayate. The word prana here refers to Brahman, Atma. We have this, no? Shrotrasya Shrotram Manaso Mano Yadvacho Havacham Savu Pranasya Pranaha. See, Pranasya Pranaha. So that is what is to be understood here. Pranameva Upashrayate Pranabandhanam Hi Somya Manaha. This is what normally has to happen. So you move, the mind here is an upalakshana of the entire jiva one can think of. It is not necessarily the mind, the indriyas, all of them go. So it is an upalakshana of the, what we may call as jiva. So jivaha itastataha gatva, he just moves around in the 2 avasthas and then he returns back. Okay. Now, this pranameva upashrayate. So that's what, see, sata somya tada sampanno bhavati swamhi apito bhavati tasmadenam swapiti tyachakshate. That is what Upanishad says. Swamhi apito bhavati. He just comes back and rests to the self. This does not happen for some reason, and it should normally happen, but it does not happen. So then we say that there is a problem, and the problem is generally called as insomnia. So how do we sort of get rid of it? Okay, this is a natural phenomenon that has to happen. For some people, I have taken some few photographs also. Once I was quite surprised. It was, I think, month of June or July, somewhere very hot, even in Mumbai. So there was a big trailer, and the trailer was parked somewhere in the road, and a couple of people just went under the chassis, see, on the road, and then they were sort of happily sleeping. Many of us would have even seen, see, people just on the gravel. So it will be there and they will just happily sleep with the kind. So this is what happens. But on the other hand, I have also seen people. So once I booked a hotel, 5-star hotel in Chennai for some Italian friend. And that day I just took her. That was a midnight. So I just said, you can go to the hotel. So next day morning I just met her and then asked, how was the sleep? He said, no, I could not sleep. I said, why? Then the reason given was, so I found some noise of the auto which is moving here and there, and therefore I could not sleep. So there are these are two extremes that we see. Now, the point is, this prajagara has to do with something which is a little intricate. We will just try to understand what are the causes. Now, Devatanam Pitrinancha, this is another thing. See, so suppose today you just take people. So some war is going on, whether it is Ukraine war or Israel war, whatever war. So people who are there, so they will have some prajagara. So what may happen? So this could be due to some external thing that is happening, and a certain anxiety which plays a very major role. And how do we sort of overcome that? So we have this, Mithilayam pradiptayam name kinchana dahyate. So that is the Vedanta. If it can take us to that, then I think it doesn't matter. So we will see that. This prajagara is also a name of Vishnu. If you take Vishnu Sahasranama, we have this Adhar and Layo Dhata Pushpaha Saf Prajagaraha. So is Ishvara Vishnu suffering from insomnia? No. See, so there this Prajagara used to be understood as, so one who is always aware of what is happening. Okay. So this is like this Atma. You should just understand this as Atman only. So the Atman is a Sakshi, Sukhamaham Aswapsam, even during that state. So similarly, we need to understand this Ishvara as that. So therefore, Bhagavad Pada here will write the meaning as Nitya Buddha Swarupatvat Prajagaraha. Okay. So how does it apply to us? Nitya Abuddha Swarupatvat. See, so for us it has to be Nitya Buddha Swarupatvat. For him it will be Nitya Buddha Swarupatvat Prajagaraha. Okay. Now, नित्य है ये कैसा ऐसे जा रहा है हो okay, this is what I wanted. Okay, now you see this Nitya Abuddha Swarupatvam, it is just some pictorial representation. The problem is mainly See, it's just for just a flashing. So we run after certain things. Okay. And the scriptures say that it need not necessarily be done. If you are able to understand the reality, then you will never run after. And when you are disappointed after running after something and unable to get it, then it really puts people into trouble. Just 2-3 examples I'll give you which were narrated to me. So one IIT employee a few years back came to me and then said, "Sir, for the past 6 months I am unable to sleep properly." Then I asked him what happened. He was a good person. So then he told me, this is after the last round of promotions. So he said, I was supposed to get, I did not get. So thereby it just thoroughly disturbed me and I am unable to sleep. Then I told him, so this is something which you have to definitely address the issue. So when certain things happen, it need not necessarily be as per what we think. And the whole of karma, siddhanta, is just to understand this. So some people call it luck, some people call it some other reason. There could be various factors which play into. And we have to very clearly understand that this is not something which is completely in our hands. There are so many variables which play, and therefore you should not be disturbed. So after some time, after a few discussions, he was okay. Now there is another person who does not really get into this kind of a promotion, but with the extension. So one person, I'm not joking, this is I gave some lecture in some mandir, Ayyappa mandir here. At the end of the session, so this a couple of people came, Dampati, okay, and they were elderly people, and this person came and then said, "Sir, my wife wants to talk to you." He said, "Okay." So then, "Madam, tell me what." So then she was a little hesitant. He himself said, so she is working in Air India in this position, and her colleague has got extension for 2 more years, and she has not got an extension, and therefore she is very disturbed and she somehow wants to get it. So can you bless her that she will get it? Okay, I said I cannot do this. See, I am not an omniscient, but I will not be able to do this also. But then I asked her, so why don't you just take it whichever way it comes. If you get an extension, you'll be happy. If you don't get an extension, you'll be more happier. So you have come to this lecture, you can study little more Vedanta, you can study Shivananda Lahari, whatever you want to study, you study. So you have done this. But she said, she was very adamant. No. So if she can get, why should I not get? This is a problem which her face itself was a little difficult for me to see. So that it is for this. No, I'm not joking. It is only for this reason that this person came to me without any shy. So then I said, I tried to explain to her, but that didn't sink into the mind. So I cannot say this, that you will get etc. etc. This I will not say. This is not in my understanding that you should be after it. Then I asked, why are you really after it? So then she said, no, see, I have various commitments. So that was complete bogus. He is a businessman, I know. So there is something which goes into the mind of people. That is why I said this picture is basically, we get stuck to certain things, and if it were not to happen, then it completely upsets you, and thereby you are terribly disturbed and it doesn't rest. So this is where the problem is. So there we need to understand, see, there are various ways we will see various things which Vedanta has to teach. So the scriptures, if we really understand, so then I think it will be of great relief and solace. How we take things as they come, this is what actually, even I'll just tell you, this verse in Ramayana I try to quote. See, just a very beautiful verse. See, Rama undergoes suffering after suffering, right? Rajya pranashaha, swajanair vinyo viyogaha. All that happens. Then Sita api nashta, all that happens. At that point, he was a little disturbed. And then, how does he console himself? He says, he doesn't keep cursing Kaikeyi. He says, Manye maya nunam abhipsidani papani karmanya sakrit kritani tasyaya madhya patito vipakaha dukhe na dukham yadaham vishami. See, it is really a perspective we have to just take. So I can choose this way, I can choose that way, I can keep on blaming everybody for this. Or I can take, this is with respect to oneself, not with respect to the other fellow who is suffering. So the issue is, so here he says, all these things are happening perhaps due to the fact that I have been committing some sins and it is just coming back to me in the form of dukkha. It is a certain way of looking at things. Now I'll just tell you, this is a beautiful verse which I read. You have heard of this Narayana Bhattatri? So he was a phenomenal poet. See, there is a Keralite here. Anybody Keralites? Okay. This is one of the inspiring works. Okay. So the story is, since you have not heard, it is good to hear. So this Narayana Bhattatri was an outstanding scholar, and in a certain moment of agony, in order to get rid of that, he starts composing a work, condensed version of Bhagavata, and this is called Narayaniyam, in about 1000 verses. It is in 100 dashakas, 10. So there we find brilliant composition. It is an inspired work. Say, whenever something comes out of inspiration or out of deep agony, so it just comes out to be very beautiful. So here, this problem is, he got the disease, incurable disease in his Guru Achyuta Pisharati transferred unto him. He could not bear the pain of his Guru, and he says, Karma phala has to be experienced. May it be experienced by me, let the pain get transferred to me. This is the story, and it got transferred. Now, in order to get rid of the pain, he goes to Guru Ayur and then starts composing. Okay, this is how the story goes. There is a nice verse. He says, this roga, he says, He roga, he is addressing the roga. Mama yuyameva suhurdaha. You are my real friends. Why? Yair nispruhoham kritaha. Because of you only I got some dispassion in my life. Before that, who I was, he says, Tarkalankriti kavyako vidakatha yogeshu bhogeshu cha. I was trying to consider myself as the most erudite scholar, and I was trying to prove myself, and the ahankara was growing. And because of that, I was also enjoying, okay, the kind of reputation that I have and the kind of grants that I receive from them. Okay. So all that was empowering me. My thought was in a different plane. Now this has made me, okay, so get some dispassion. Okay. Irnispruhoham kritaha tarkalankriti kavyako vidakatha yogeshu bhogeshu cha. If you were not to come and trouble me, no chet Krishna padaravinda bhajanam vedanta chintamapi tyaktva Shvashva iti Brahmadahamaho Yamyeva Yamyam Padam. See, if you are not to turn my direction and the view of my life, then Krishna Padaravinda Bhajanam Vedanta Chintamapi, I would have completely left out. So we'll look after some other time. Tyaktva Shvashva iti Brahmat Ahamaho Yamyeva Yamyam Padam. So this is what he is trying to present. So this why I am saying this is, events keep happening, but it is the perspective that we have towards the event, so which makes us take as we take, and it has its own effect. And this is what our scriptures have to teach. In fact, there is another beautiful verse. Sukhasya dukkhasya nakopi data. It's a nice verse. Parodadati ti kubuddhi resha. Sukhasya dukkhasya nakopi data. Parodadati ti kubuddhi resha. Okay. It is an illusion. Okay. Ahankaromiti vrithabhimanaha. Svakarma sutra grathito hi lokaha. So this is a nice verse. See, if we carefully analyze, then if you are blessed with some brilliance, it is not something which we have really achieved. If you are a dullard also, it is like this. If you have a fair complexion, you didn't choose. If you have a dark complexion, you didn't choose. If you are too high, if you are too short, nothing is chosen by us, right? There is a certain opportunity which comes, and we just flourish sometimes. Sometimes we get into adversity. I am just telling you, there is one person, I tell you, very, very, very witty, extremely witty, and it is a joy to interact with him. So I used to spend some time when I was in Chennai. This is about 25 years ago. And about 10-12 years ago when I went, I could not see this man. He was just so frail, completely lackluster. And then I just asked him, what happened to you? Then he says, he was actually working in various countries also, Singapore, here, there and so on. Then he said, so I invested around 5-6 crores in a farmhouse. But then now I feel that it is all completely gone bogus. So this is something which has pained me and I have completely lost. So this is some, say here is where this helps. See, when you gain 5 crore rupees or when you lose 5 crore rupees, see, there are so many people who just live with 50,000. So you had the capacity to invest 5 crores somewhere or 6 crores. So this is where one has to think. So when it comes, we feel happy. When it goes, we feel unhappy. So this cannot be disturbing too much either way. So this is what Vedanta. And he has completely, otherwise, I mean, it was impossible for me to see him. And this is the only reason he said this has completely, he is sleepless and just finished. There are so many people like this. So this is what our scriptures actually teach. So this next thing is, hi. See, this is, something is plus here and then minus. Plus means I thought it should go up way. Anyway, I'm just saying. So this has nothing to do with, it is my mission. See, this page plus means I thought, no, this plus minus sign is, so suppose I put plus, it goes back. तो ये प्लस नहीं डालना था, प्लस इधर डालना था. Anyway, that's what I'm, okay. I got it now. It is working. But I'm just saying. Okay. Now, these are just symptoms. These are all things well known. So I'll just very quickly skip this slide. So this is difficulty in sleeping, various things. These are all symptoms, lack of concentration, daytime sleeplessness, irritability, tired, all that happens. And causes, people say, psychological stress, chronic pain. There could be various things, but this is what I think is the most important cause, this worry. Chinta. See, chinta about something. Okay, we have a beautiful verse, no? What is that? Chita chinta tayor madhye chinta nama gariyasi chita dahati nirjeevam chinta pranayutam vapuh. See, so between chita and chinta, there is only one difference, that bindu. That bindu makes a lot of difference. See, chita only burns, see, a lifeless body. Chinta burns a living person. Okay, so that is what basically people generally think. See, I have seen this. So improving the surrounding, job, neighborhood, spouse. Okay, so these things will make us better person, but not necessarily. Okay. Sometimes changing spouse may also work, neighborhood may work, but then this fellow may go and spoil the neighborhood also. It is because this fellow, right, he has the problem. See, if he has a problem, so surrounding will not help. Okay. So this, I can give you one example of the spouse. So this I must tell you. I have seen people, so I'm just telling this is my own personal experience, who come and narrate to me. So one person married other person, and then it got divorced later, it looks like. Second person, she asked me, can I marry? I said, how can I tell? So this is my second marriage, this person, and so on, she said. I will not be able to tell, you have to make a decision, choice. Then she went ahead and married. After a few months, she wrote me, this also did not work to me. Okay, we work out. So I said, I have nothing to say here, it is all. So then she asked, can I go for the third one? She was attending my Vedanta class for some time. So then I said, I have to give the same answer, I have nothing to suggest here. So it is up to you to take a decision. But in one case I know, that person told me, I'll just tell you, this is an interesting story. I was actually traveling from Nepal to India. Okay, after visiting a Buddhist site. There is one thing in the Nepal border. Okay, so from UP to Nepal I went along with my mother, and I was coming back. It was a very short flight, 45 minutes or something like that. So one fat fellow, so non-Indian, was sitting next to me to the right. So he himself picked up some conversation with me. So he said, he introduced himself as a German and a businessman and so on. Then this person asked me, why are you here? I said, I came for this Buddhist site and I am going back to this village in UP along with my mother. So what is the purpose of this village? So I said, this is what I am just visiting. Then he said, sir, how can you visit this village? Then I asked him, why should I not visit this village? So he said, you look like a Brahmin. I said, yes, I am a Brahmin. Then how can you visit this? I mean, this is some fisherman village, let us take. So this is the picture that he has. Okay, this is one aspect. The second aspect was more interesting. Then I asked him, so why are you here? So you are a businessman. Then he said, so my wife is interested in seeing the Buddhist site, therefore I came. So then he said, this wife she showed. So the 2 rows, 3 rows before she was sitting. So I just looked at her. And he said, see, are you surprised that she looks non-European? Yes. So then he said, no, these Europeans, they are so selfish. Whereas the South Asians, I chose my wife from Thailand. And this change in spouse has worked for me. See, they are more loyal, etc., he was saying. So there they are only selfish, and they took, that earlier lady took 50% of my wealth, but I am very happy with this, etc. See, sometimes this change in spouse may work, but when will it work? Only when you have the attitude, that is South Asian, Tyaga Bhavana. See, caring for others should be there. This caring for others naturally comes once we are rooted in Vedanta. Vedanta essentially tells you, Atmaupamyena sarvatra samam pashyati Arjuna. Sukham va yadiva dukkham. If somebody cares for me, I feel happy. My feeling, I feel happy. So then you should naturally reciprocate. So this is what is the difference between South Asian and otherwise I am selfish, I want to feel, I want to. See, this is something which will not work. So this leads to Prajagara to both sides. Okay. Now anyway, now we'll come to this. So anyway, this are there better alternatives? Yes, we have. I'll just tell you, this is something which is very, very funny. I'll tell you this next one. I was just searching for some Vidura and suddenly some site shows this. It's completely nonsensical, okay? So don't believe that I'm saying this, but I'm just showing this. So V means you are a seer, you have great intuition. I means you are a compassionate person who feels things deeply, etc., etc. Whatever he has written in the right hand side is okay about Vidura. But it has nothing to do with Vidura, okay? What Vidura means, this is how, I mean, this is a website. Okay, it's completely nonsensical. So as if this Akshara means this. Okay. Anyway, so that we will leave. Now, Vidura, we should just understand the term. That itself is an interesting thing. Vi is a certain upasarga which we use in many places. Okay. Vishleshanam. Okay. There are so many places, Visharada. There are so many places in which we use the word vi. It can sometimes means negative. It can sometimes mean Visheshataha. Okay. The word Dura in Sanskrit means Data. We find this in Rigveda. Duro Ashwasya Dura Indra. It is a mantra addressing Indra. So it says, you are Ashwasya Data, you are Data of Go, you are Data of grains, and so on and so forth. This is where the mantra goes. How does it come about? There is a certain suffix called Urach. Da plus Urach, we get Dura. Okay. Now, this is something which is clearly applicable to Vidura. He is an embodiment of wisdom. The moment you read the Vidura Niti, is clearly evident. The kind of Upadesha that he gives. So, he is described as Jnana Data. Visheshato Dadati means, so the one who gives exceptional knowledge. Okay. And therefore, one can call him as Vidura. Suppose I say Vidura. See, so in English, this D can be, some people write. Okay. So instead of D, so if you write D, it need not be pronounced as Da. And therefore, they put DH. If you put DH, then I will read as Vidura. So then it means, Vigataha Dhavaha. So Vidhava and Vidhuraha. This is what it means. Okay. So one who is completely obsessed with pain that his wife has passed away. Okay, assuming she was a loving wife. Okay. So he is called a Vidhuraha. Okay. So Vidhuraha is used in certain contexts. Okay. So that Vidura, and Vidhura have completely opposite meanings. Okay. Now we will move on to Vidura and Vidura Niti. So Vidura is the son of Vyasa, and of course this story is all available everywhere. He was considered the wisest person among the various characters in Mahabharata, known for his valuable advice, and he has given a long lecture like our Bhagavad Gita. Okay. So when Arjuna said, I am confused, so Krishna gives a long advice. Similarly, this Dhritarashtra approaches Vidura and he gives a long advice. So that is how the Vidura Niti comes about. So we will just take from there and then move on to how he brings about so beautiful thoughts and what could be the causes of Dhritarashtra's insomnia. So here we find very interesting verses. So I'll just give one or two just to. This will be extremely useful. I remember one phrase which was taught to me by my grandfather when I was just 6-7 years old. So when I was 6-7 years old, my grandfather put me in his lap, and evening he will just always drink a cup of milk before going to the bed. Okay. So one day, so he just said, so he drank that and then some quarter cup he gave to me, and he said, so you take. And he said, no, I don't want, I said. Okay. Then he said, no, this is very tasty. So he just said this phrase, Eka swadu nabhunjita. So what does it mean? If something is tasty, may you not consume alone. This is a principle that we have in our Shastra, and therefore I want to give you, so please take. So I just anyway consume. So this recently I discovered that it is in Vidura Niti. Ekasvaduna bhunjitha ekascharthan nachintayet ekona gache dadhvanam naikasupteshu jagriyat. See, ekasvaduna bhunjitha. See, that is why we always form committees. Ekascharthan nachintayet. See, arthan nachintayet means if you have to take some crucial decision, don't take it alone. Okay, form a committee and then. Sometimes they form committee for some reasons. Anyway, that is a different. See, namesake they will form some committee and. Anyway, ekascharthan nachintayet eko nagachet adhvanam. Adhvanam means some uncharted path. So may you not go alone. Eko nagachet adhvanam naikasupteshu jagriyat. We have the jagriyat. See, earlier people always used to travel together and they will sleep somewhere together, right? So when every fellow is sleeping, don't keep rising. And if you alone are awake, then some people will misjudge you, right? So when all fellows are sleeping, so you don't keep. So naikasupteshu jagriyat, they will suspect you. Anyway, so there are similarly, see, eko dharma param shreyaha. Oh, not changed. Okay. Eko dharma param shreyaha. See, kshamika shantiruttama. So there are several such verses. Okay. Eko dharma param shreyaha kshamika shantiruttama. Vidyika paramatriptihi. Understand? The immense satisfaction that you can get is only through Vidya. So suppose there is a problem, I solve it. So joy that we experience is unbounded. It need not necessarily be solving. Independently understanding also gives that. Vidyaika paramatriptihi. This Vidya can also be considered as that Vidya. Sa Vidya ya vimuktaye. That Vidya, if it comes, you get paramatriptihi. And paramatriptihi is what leads to paramam sukham. Right? Vidyaika paramatriptihi ahimsaika sukhavaha. It just goes on. With eka, there will be several things which he says. Beautiful. Similarly, he will start with 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 various numbers. So, this, see, I'll just give you one interesting example. Dvavambhasi niveshtavyav. He says, 2 fellows have to be immersed in water. Dvavambhasi niveshtavyav. How should you immerse? He says, Gale badhva dridham shilam. See, by tightly tying a big stone on his neck, you immerse them into water, otherwise he may come out. Who are those fellows? Dvavambhasi nimeshtavyav gale badhva dridham shilam dhanavantam adataram. Then he says, daridrancha atapasvinam. Both are very important. If you have wealth, then you have to share. If you don't have, then you have to lead a conservative living. See, nowadays people just live with these cards, okay? So all kinds of cards are given to everybody. So this is a major problem. See, daridrancha atapasvinam means you have to live Okay? Life according to what you have. So you can't keep borrowing. This is a great papa. Anyway, there are so many such things. See, Shaddosha Purushene Hatavya Bhuti Michhata. See, Nidra Tandra Bhayam Krodha Alasyam Dirgha Sutrata. See, Shad Doshaha. These are the 6 doshas. Purushena iha hatavyaha. Bhuti michhata. If you want a well-being, good life, okay, he says you have to drop these. Wherever you want, be. Nidra, oversleeping, okay. Tandra. Tandra means you do a little work and then, oh, I'm so tired. See, nowadays it has become fashionable to say, you do a small thing and then, I'm so tired, you know. So, I mean, what have you done? Nothing. Okay. So, Nidra, Tandra, Bhayam, okay, unnecessary fear. Krodha, Alasyam, laziness. Dirgha Sutrata is procrastination. See, some of our students do things in 4 days, what can be done in 4 hours. See, this is Dirgha Sutrata. So anyway, so there are so beautiful messages here, see, for our day-to-day life, plus profound philosophy. Vidura Niti has both of them. So if we imbibe them, then I think there is no reason for us to lament for anything in life. We will be able to draw some inspiration from some verse whenever it is required, and the whole life will be a happy life, irrespective of where you are, what you are, in what situation you are. See, we have to just take. That is how the scriptures present to us. Okay. See, now the story goes like this: Dhritarashtra suffers from insomnia, invites Vidura, seeks his guidance. Vidura's opening statement lists 5 causes, okay, for sleeplessness, which in turn reveal, okay, how we can get a sound sleep. See, I am reminded, recently there was a Chennai flood, you know. So I had to rush to Chennai. So our parents live there. So the house was flooded. So I had to take a Bangalore route. So Bangalore, one bus was there the night. So my nephew booked a ticket in the bus. So that was some sleeper bus. The neighbor was having a sound sleep. See, therefore I could not sleep. See, what to do? This is natural form. So, anyway, so that was. So, this is appearing in Mahabharata Udyoga Parva. Let us go there. The opening scenario is this. Praveshaya Mahaprajnyam Viduram. Oh, slight change. Praveshaya Mahaprajnyam Viduram Dirghadarishinam Aham hi Vidurasyasya Nakalyo Jatu Darshane. So, Dhritarashtra says, let Vidura be summoned here. So, Vidura is brought here. Then that servant comes and tells, okay, Dwarapalaka, can I allow him in? So he says, Praveshaya Mahaprajnyam. He describes Vidura as Mahaprajnya. Praveshaya, let him come in. Viduram, why? Dirghadarishinam. Dirghadarishi is a beautiful usage. Okay, Darisha plus Nini Pratyaya. And then, see, Dirghadarishi means Dirghat Darishi is Dirghadarishi. One who can visualize the situation and one can say, and one can foresee a long time, and then, so this is what is called Dirghadarishi. 2 ways you can understand the term. Now he says, Aham hi Vidurasyasya Nakalyo Jatu Darshane Asamarthaha. Kalyaha means Samarthaha. So anyway, I cannot anywhere, okay, claim myself, though I am old, have some wisdom as Vidura. Okay, so please allow him. So how do we understand the term Mahaprajna here? See, Prakarshena Janatiti will you get prajnaha? Sarvajnaha, how do you say? Sarvam janatiti sarvajnaha, right? Prakarshena janatiti, you should simply get prajnaha. Okay. So sarvam janatiti sarvajnaha, prakarshena janatiti prajnaha. But sometimes there is a suffix which is used in swartha, it's unsuffix. So the meaning of prajna and prajna are one and the same. Okay. So it has been employed as prajna, and therefore, but there is some interesting things about that also. We will come to that. So then we say mahanu prajnaha, mahaprajnaha. See, even among the wise, he is supreme. Okay, that is what he wanted to convey through that. Then tatah pravishya viduraha. What does he do? Vidura. Dhritarashtra niveshanam abravit pranjalir vakyam chintayanam naradhipam. So he can see how deeply he was worrying. So therefore he describes this as Chintayanam Naradhipam. Naradhipa is Dhritarashtra. So he enters. So and then Pranjalihi Vakyam Abravit. Pranjalihi means with folded hands. He says, what does he say? Viduroham Mahaprajnya Sampraptas Tava Shasanat Yedi Kinchana Kartavyam Ayamasti prashadhimam. So he says. Now the interesting thing is, Vidura also addresses Dhritarashtra as Mahaprajna. See, you understand? Dhritarashtra describes Vidura as Mahaprajna. Vidura addresses Dhritarashtra as Mahaprajna. How do we understand this? There are two ways. See, nowadays we say honorable minister, right? So dishonorable fellows so will be described as Saha Indraha, Saha Prajapatihi, all that we say. Similarly, this king, say as a protocol, he addresses as see, Mahaprajna. This is one way of understanding. Okay. This is one way of understanding Vidura's address as Mahaprajna, Dhritarashtra. But Sanskrit, we have this beauty. Prakarshena ajnaha. See, prakarshena ajnaha prajnaha. Okay, obstinate fool. Okay, that way also Dhritarashtra can be. But Vidura's intention may not be that. See, because he is a nice person, so. So both ways we can understand. So therefore we need not add this anpratyaya, swartha, etc. It really fits. Okay. So viduroham mahaprajna sampraptaha tavasasanat. Sometimes we go for certain meetings only like that. We know what the outcome will be. But then he has called, we have to go. Okay. So yedi kinchana kartavyam. So if there is anything to be done, Ayamasti prashadhimam. I am here, so please order me. Prashadhi means please order me. I am willing to do whatever you want. Okay. Then, so Dhritarashtra says, Sanjayo vidura praptaha garhayitva chamam gataha ajata shatroho Shvovakyam sabha madhye savaksyati tasyadya kuruvirasya navijnatam vacho maya tanme dahati gatrani tadakarshit prajagaram. Now comes the word prajagara. Okay. So he says Sanjayaha. So he went, he has returned back. Vidura is the word addressing Vidura. He says, Vidura, hey Vidura, Sanjayaha praptaha. He has returned back. He met me for a short time. And then Garhayitva chamam gataha. Somehow he took the courage. So he sort of censured me and then went off. Ajatashatroho. Ajatashatru. Who? Yudhishthira, the one who does not have any Shatru. Okay? This is a description of Yudhishthira. See, yasya Shatruhu najataha. Ajata Shatroho Shvovakyam Sabha Madhye Savakshyati. So he said that I am not going to tell you what Yudhishthira said. I am going to reveal it only in the Sabha. Okay, so he said and then he went. Tasyadya Kuruvirasya Navijnatam Vacho Maya. Now he says, so this message that Yudhishthira has said something and I am not going to tell you here, I will only reveal in Sabha. This has made me completely sleepless. Tanme dahati gatrani. Beautiful description. See, gatrani dahati means entire body is burning as if. Tadakarshit prajagaram. Then he says, Yatah prapta sanjayah pandavebhyaha name yathavan manasah prashantihi sarvendriyanya prakritim gatani kim vakshyati ityeva himedya chinta. See, so this is a beautiful graphic description of what happens to various people. Yatah prapta sanjayah pandavebhyaha. So the moment Sanjaya returned after visiting Pandavas, Name yathavan manasaf prashantihi. Earlier, to some extent, I was able to sleep properly. Now I am completely restless. Yathavat prashantihi nasti. Okay. He says, Sarvendriyanya prakritim gatani. Prakritim gatani, aprakritim gatani. That is how I described that yatha shakunihi. You understand? So aprakritim gatani, they have completely lost their natural functioning. Sarvendriyanya prakritim gatani kim vakshyati ityeva himedya chinta. See, what is he going to say? He is the chinta that is really bothering me. Okay? Why? It is because he knows what is going to happen. So all that he bothers him. Okay. Now I'll tell you, this is a beautiful quotation which I wanted to just share. Many of you would have read this, but this I liked because, see, he says, when I read this Vidura Niti and a few other things, of course, this is where we see. See, Vivekananda. So one says, if there is one word in English language to represent the gift of India to the world, if there is one word in English language to express the effect which the literature of India produces upon mankind, it is one word, fascination. So whether you read this Vidura Niti, or you read this Kalidasa, or you read Ramayana, or you read Bhagavad Gita, so and you immerse in that, then what happens is, he graphically describes this. But then he finally also says, it is the opposite of anything that takes you suddenly, it throws on you as it were, a charm imperceptibly. To many, Indian thought, Indian manners, Indian customs and Indian philosophy, Indian literature are repulsive at the first sight. See, that is what happens nowadays. So to many of these people, because we don't actually introduce, so that is sort of repulsive. But then he says, but let them persevere. Let them read, let them become familiar with the great principles underlying these ideas, and it is 99 to 1 that charm will come over them and fascination will be the result. So here, why I am saying this? I am saying this because when you actually see the kind of problems that are being suffered by people and the kind of solution that we have here by reading this, merely reading this will give you immense solace. And then I'll just tell you, a few days back somebody came to me, it was maybe a week back. One person, he just came and admitted, it is just, I could quickly connect it to this. He was a very, very successful professional He did engineering and then he did MBA, finance and so on in IIM Ahmedabad, and then got a job. So worked here there for 5 years. Then he went to Hong Kong and then he went somewhere else. So rose very high in cadre. And then he said, I want to talk to you, sir. I have seen some of your videos. I want to just, I'm in IIT. I want to talk to you. He came. So evening and then he said, I studied in a convent and I had absolutely no clue of what the Sanskrit literature has to convey to me. And when COVID came, somehow I lost my job. I did not know what to do. Then I started studying a bit of Sanskrit. And then my perspective, the whole life has completely changed now. And he said, I now realize how foolish I have been, thinking along various things in a particular way and what is success, etc., etc. Now my perspective has completely changed. Now another thing that he said was, perhaps it has to do with the English language. I have read several books there, but he said perhaps the language also has a role to play. By language he means I would understand the content of the language. In fact, this is something which has been told to me by various people. So here the profound thoughts are just conveyed in one verse, whereas the same thing has to be conveyed in 20 pages with some elaborate things in various things. So this is what he was conveying to me. Anyway, so this is what Vivekananda says. See, you read, you become familiar with the great principles and the underlying ideas. Then 99 to 1. So this will be. What happened? So 99 to 1, the charm will come over and the fascination will be the result. So this is what he says. Slow and silent. Why is this? This is a very, very interesting thing. He says, as a gentle dew that falls in the morning, unseen and unheard, yet producing the most tremendous result, has been the work of, calm, patient, all suffering spiritual rays upon the world of thought. See, this is what our civilization has to offer. So this is something which beautifully has been captured by him. Anyway, unfortunately, see, this is something which was a little today as I was traveling in the flight from Chandigarh here. See, instead of flying high with such profound thoughts, either from Gita or from Upanishads or from certain other places, people just keep spending all their time reading novels, this after that. Much worse is playing video games. I see various people just to time pass. See, if you had digested some thought and you have memorized some verses, you will be eternally enjoying them. And instead of that, what is gained, I just can't understand. So just shooting something, and then keep on just, and then moving these cards, that cards. So it is a certain problem that we see, that they cannot engage their minds in something which can be really elevating them to forget some problem. I mean, they have to sort of engage in this. Anyway, at least they keep reading something. So that, but I'm just saying that this is something which we need to understand. This is as a confession which has been made by various people. I'm just trying to tell. Doesn't matter whether we are 50, 60 or some people maybe even 70, doesn't matter. But it is, if we have lost something and we didn't have the opportunity, it is better that we start today. There is nothing wrong. Okay? So this is something which I wanted to sell. And is it a real pity, and we have sort of reduced to that pity. See, that is why perhaps as I was thinking, these 2 lines I just wrote only as I was in flight. See, it has to do perhaps with, see, there have always been some characters like Duryodhana, there have always been Shakunis, there is nothing wrong about it. So this is how the civilization will be, society will be. But then a large section of population getting into this kind of a problem is really painful to us. They are unable to take situations as they are. And the cushion that this could have provided, okay, is something which is missing. This provides a cushion. Without your understanding that it provides a cushion, you will be enjoying the shock absorber. But that is not there. So it is essential that we sort of introduce, so through various stories, through various messages, through various passages, it gets into the mind and at some stage it will sort of work. So if this is missing, then there is something which is seriously missing. And my mother tells, anyway, that I will not get into. This is a beautiful verse. See, Pravartatam prakriti-hitaya parthivaha saraswati shruti mahatam mahiyatam. This is the ultimate verse in Shakuntalam. Pravartatam prakriti-hitaya parthivaha. So since I am involved with this NCF and various other things now, National Curriculum Framework, I keep pleading that I have been immensely benefited by learning some of the Subhashitas in my young age. It comes to your help whenever you need to get some ideas, to take situation as they come to you. And if we sort of miss to teach them, so at the right age, when they can receive and keep it inside, it may not work for everybody, doesn't matter. But it definitely works for at least a few, and why should we miss that? So therefore, the message is, this Kalidasa prays towards the end, Pravartatam prakriti-hitaya parthivaha Saraswati Shruti Mahatam Mahiyatam Mamapicha Kshamayatu Nilalohitaha Punarbhavam Parigata Shakti Ratmabhu. See, the amazing verse it is. I don't explain in great detail, but the point I wanted to convey here was, it is for this institutions to take the right decision to what is to be taught in what age. When the mind is so receptive to get things without analyzing, without having any resistance to take it in, when right things are pumped in, then I think it plays a crucial role in trying to shape the individual. That is why he says, Pravartatam prakriti-hitaya. Prakriti here means janaha. So, in fact, we have this another verse, no? This, while describing this Raghu dynasty, he says, Sapita pitarastesha prajanam vinayadhanat rakshanat bharanadapi. So the king, through his administration, vinayadhanat. Vinayadhanat means prajanam. For all the people, he provided the right education. Prajanam vinayadhanat rakshanat bharanadapi. Then he describes the king, Sapita pitarastasam. The king is to be taken as the father because he has played the role of the father. Their parents were only biological factors. I mean, this is how he puts it. So, providing the right education, Sapita pitarastasam kevalam janmahetavaha. I am telling this because I had an occasion to see 15 years back. So, there was a school which was started around 20 years back. This was started with Swami Dayananda. He was a Vedanta teacher, a profound teacher. So, with his guidance, it was started. And then the school I visited, so that a lady asked me, the founder, so please visit our school. I went there. What I saw was shocking to me. It is just a primary school which I started. And there were boards here and there. Repeatedly. What is the board conveying? Children have to be treated with respect and dignity. See, now what I don't understand here is this has caused a bit of a problem. See, respect and dignity is a different term. Love and affection is a different term. My mother did not treat with respect and dignity. She had great love and affection. At times she will beat me if I don't listen. No. See, that is not the age. So the age is, you are talking about 5 to 10 years. Where is the ability for them to take a certain decision as to what is right and what is wrong for them? So with great love and affection, if my grandfather was teaching Veda and he sometimes gives a blow if they don't listen to. So we should not be, the sahasam should not be there. You should not be overpowered by anger. But shikshanam is also important. You have a beautiful message in Sanskrit. Lalayet panchavarshani, dashavarshani tadayet, prapte tu shodashe varshe putram mitravad acharayet. See, so up to 5 years, you just leave them what they want to do. But then 5 to 15, you have to discipline them, train them in a particular way. Dashavarshani tadayet, prapte tu shodashe varshe, putram mitravadacharet. So mitravadacharet is only after 16. So it is this age is very important, and if you just leave them to play only this, that is what pains me. So nowadays all these children, instead of reading something, everyone is just having something and then playing these games. I don't know what is really gained by that. So instead of that, at that age when they can imbibe a lot of qualities unknowingly by memorizing these verses, we have to teach them. So it will be just very, very useful. So I should just complete. Okay, with this slide I will just complete with this last verse. So here he gives the 5 reasons. Sorry, I'll just move this. This is the verse. Abhiyuktam balavata durbalam hina sadhanam hritasvam kaminam choram avishanti prajagaraha. So he says, the question that he asks Vidura, next verse will be the question. So Dhritarashtra's confession to Vidura, if you look at here, Tanme dahati gatrani, he said, see, tadakarshit prajagaram. So since he confessed that I am affected by insomnia, Vidura just beautifully lists. He says, Abhiyuktam balavata, as far as I know there are 5 factors which cause this insomnia. Abhiyuktam balavata. Next is durbalam hina sadhanam. Hritasvam kaminam choram avishanti prajagaraha. Avishanti means they come and grab you. When abhiyuktam balavata, balavata abhiyuktam means the word abhiyukta is, in fact, none of us want to work in an environment where we are abhiyukta. That is why they always say we have to have the freedom for work. Right? So abhiyuktam means you are always thoroughly compelled and directed to work in a particular direction. Okay? So abhiyuktaha, see, parakartrika ruddhaha means you are completely bound by. That is why we have this freedom. See, at least in educational institutions, we would like to teach what we want to teach, right? What we feel. So parakartrika ruddhaha. Then balavata abhiyuktaha means, see, so if he is a mightier person and you are completely dependent on them, so then you will not be able to either quit nor will be able to work with him. So it is a suffocation which many people have. Now, the other thing is durbalam hina sadhanam, the next factor. Hina sadhanam. Hina sadhanam is not a problem. So see, nowadays, so people have this, no? Hey, so if you want to keep me, you keep, otherwise I'll go. Okay, this is one aspect. The other thing is, I have some backup. Okay, so then, even if I am hina sadhana, see, I have a prabala pushing me, and therefore I can take care. So durbalam hina sadhanam. Then he says, Hritasvam. That is what I told. See, Hritasvam. In fact, one lady told me recently when I was visiting UK, she said, I had only one son and I lost him when he was 17 years old. And from then on, see, I have only Prajagara, he said. Okay. That is why perhaps in those days they said at least you have two. Anyway, so this Prajagara, see, only one, I mean, one can understand the pain. I'm just saying. So, Hritaswam means, see, you have lost. This word swam has various meanings. It can refer to money. It can refer to relative. See, it can refer to Nyati. So, Atma, Atmiya, it is there in Dhanam, Atma, Atmiya. So, the person whom I was mentioning, so it was wealth, some property that he had. So, Hritaswam, he lost. This is a problem. Kaminam. Okay. So, this need not be elaborated. Okay. So, there are many people who just suffer this. Kaminam, Choram. Okay. So, these 5 people, okay, so have this problem of Prajagara. So, I think I'll stop here because we have spent about 1 hour 5 minutes. So, we will continue tomorrow. Thank you. Namaste.
Okay, then we will meet again tomorrow, and this lecture is on our YouTube channel. So the people who could not attend today, they can see that lecture and come tomorrow to join the class. Okay. So thank you once again to all of you. Please join tomorrow. Thank you. Sir, you can bring me that PDF.